A record number of men are quietly walking away from dating, and they are not even sad about it. They are exhausted. Exhausted by the apps, the games, the endless auditioning for people who barely look up. And here is the strange part. Many of them are calmer than they have been in years, because they stumbled onto something the Stoics taught 2,000 years ago, that a man who needs a relationship to feel whole will always be at the mercy of it. By the end of this video, you will understand dating in a way that ends the desperation for good. There are 7 truths that turn a needy man into a grounded one. The 6th one is the one that quietly makes a man far more attractive without trying. But first, you have to see why modern dating feels so empty. Here is what nobody says about why dating feels so hollow now. It is not just the apps, though the apps turned people into an endless catalog. It is that most men are approaching it from a place of lack, and lack repels. A man who needs a woman to fix his loneliness, his boredom, his sense of worth, arrives already begging, and no amount of good intentions hides the desperation underneath. Seneca said the greatest wealth is a soul that is content with what it already has. A man who is whole on his own does not date to be completed. He dates to share an overflow. Fix the lack first, and everything about how you connect changes at the root. The first truth. Neediness is the single most repellent thing a man can carry. It does not matter how you hide it. People feel the weight of your need before you say a word. The over-texting, the too-fast investment, the mood that rises and falls on their reply. All of it broadcasts one message. My peace is your responsibility now. And that is a burden no healthy person wants to pick up. The Stoics built their contentment inside, where no other person was required to maintain it. So the work is not learning better lines. It is becoming a man who does not need the outcome. Kill the neediness, and you remove the one thing that was quietly sabotaging you. The second truth. Stop needing any single interaction to go a certain way. The moment you need her to like you, you have handed her complete control over your state. You will perform, shrink, and contort yourself to protect an outcome you do not even control. The Stoics focused only on what was theirs, their effort, their honesty, their character. The result, another person's free choice, was never theirs to command. So you show up as your genuine self, and you release your grip on how it lands. A man who does not need it to work is the only man relaxed enough to let it work, detach from the outcome, and paradoxically, the outcomes improve. The third truth. You are not there to be chosen. You are there to choose. Modern dating trained men to audition, to perform, to hope they measure up. It is a posture of scarcity, and it puts you permanently beneath the person across the table. The grounded man flips it. He is calmly evaluating whether this person fits his life, not from arrogance, but from standards. He knows what he is building and who belongs in it. The Stoics were selective about who they let into their inner circle, and dating is no different. So you stop trying to pass her test, and you quietly run your own. The man who is choosing, not auditioning, carries himself in a completely different way. If this is landing, let me say one thing directly. If you are done auditioning for people who barely look up, subscribe. It costs you nothing, and it is how this reaches the men who need it. Then come back, because the next truth is the one that ends the desperation. The fourth truth. Build a life so complete that a relationship is a bonus, never a rescue. When your life is empty, a partner has to carry the impossible weight of being everything. When your life is full of purpose, friends, work, and growth, she gets to simply add to it. The Stoics built rich inner and outer lives that did not depend on any one person. A man with a full life is not desperate because he is not waiting to be saved. He has somewhere to be, something to build, a direction with or without her. And nothing is more attractive than a man who clearly does not need you but chooses you. Fill your life first, and the right relationship becomes an addition, not a life support machine. The fifth truth. A rejection is information, not a judgment of your worth. Men treat a no like a ruling on their entire value as a person. It is not. It is one person on one day deciding one thing about one interaction. The Stoics separated their self-worth from external events entirely. What another person thinks of you happens inside their head, and you will never fully see it. So a no simply means not a fit. And a not a fit is doing you a quiet favor. The man who does not fear rejection can act freely, and freedom is magnetic. Stop letting a stranger's no decide how you feel about yourself. Now here's the truth that changes a man without him even trying. The sixth truth. The instant you genuinely stop needing it, you become the version of yourself people want. It is the cruelest irony in dating, and the most freeing once you see it. The desperation you carried was the exact thing pushing people away. Remove it, and what is left is a calm, grounded, self-possessed man, and that is deeply attractive. The Stoics never chased approval, and it is precisely why they commanded so much respect. You do not become attractive by trying harder to be liked. You become it by needing it less. Build a self you would not trade for anyone, and the right people start moving toward you. The seventh truth. The goal was never to give up on connection. It was to approach it as a whole man. The men walking away in exhaustion are half right. They are done dating from a place of lack, but the answer is not permanent retreat. It is to return one day from a place of strength. The Stoics did not reject love. They refused to be enslaved by the need for it. So you take the time alone to become complete, disciplined, and self-sufficient. And then, if you choose to, you offer that completed man to someone worthy of him. Love built from two whole people is a partnership. Love built from two wholes is a hostage situation. Come to it whole, or do not come to it yet. That is the entire lesson. Here is what nobody tells you about giving up on dating out of exhaustion. If you retreat but never fix the lack, you do not find peace. You just find a quieter loneliness. The numbness feels like freedom, but it is only the desperation going into hiding. Every year you avoid the real work of becoming whole, the harder any real connection becomes. A grounded love life is not something you are handed. It is something a man earns by becoming whole first. So remember the 7. Kill the neediness. Detach from the outcome. Stop auditioning. Build a full life. Survive rejection. Become the man by needing it less. And love from strength, never from lack. Do that, and dating stops being an exhausting audition and becomes a calm, deliberate choice. Not desperate for anyone, whole on your own, and therefore actually worth choosing. If this gave you even one moment of clarity about all of it, subscribing is how you say, make more. I make these for the man who is done chasing, performing, and begging to be chosen. Become whole first, and the right connection stops being something you chase and starts being something you choose. I will see you in the next one.